Thought I'd give you guys a short tour of it. These are the potatoes. Half of them are Yukon Golds and the other half are red. And they're probably going to be harvested before too long. A few of them have flowers on them. So there are the potatoes. These two are volunteer collards. I don't know how they got over here, but yet they did. Those are the lemon cucumbers, and they're kind of struggling. As you can see, they haven't gotten very big. The regular old cucumbers, these three right here, they're small, but they've actually started to move. And then sitting next to those are the leeks. And these were actually total hair-like fibers at one point in time, so even though they're very small, they've actually grown quite a bit. And next to those are the row of shallots, and they've actually done pretty well. I excavated one yesterday to see how big they were, and they're about the size of my thumb, about that big, so they've got a lot of ways to go. But once again, they were also hairs when I started. And this one is our first carrot patch. I've got two going. I wanted to try to stagger them, so once these were gone, we would have some more coming in. But because the soil here, as you can, I don't know if you can see, it is nothing but rocks and clay. So I tried to choose a kind of carrot that doesn't go deep, but is round. So, and they're really good, really sweet little carrots. So, here's the other carrot bed. So we have one on that side and one on this side, and these guys have been in for about 2 weeks, so they ought to be germinating pretty soon. In fact, that's right there, and they'll be coming up soon. This is last year's old cilantro patch that I just let go to seed, so all of those are volunteer. I think I'm going to do the same thing again this year. Just let this thing go to seed, try to contain it, put it down here on the ground, and try to get a nice healthy patch going. I don't know if you remember last year I had a problem with the tomatoes. I had the tomatoes over here in this spot, and this spot over here has a problem with the soil. We planted cauliflower here and broccoli, and they all died. This is the one that hasn't. You can see by the color of the leaf that I'm chemically deficient. I know that it was low in calcium, and I added calcium, and I've added a bunch of other amenities, but there's something about this spot right here. After the cauliflower and broccoli died. See, here's the old cauliflower sign. We were going to grow purple cauliflower. We put in some eggplant because the eggplants on that side are doing very well, so we thought maybe they would do well over here, and of course they're not. They're not growing. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this little patch right here. It's a problem. The few broccolis that we do have, like I said, there's a baby head right in there, and this is the one head that is actually the one plant that seems to have done all right. This is a volunteer tomato from last year, from probably one of the dead tomatoes I threw on the ground, and it rooted. I would suspect it's going to come up, or it's going to fruit, but they'll probably have the end rot on them because this area is deficient in calcium and something else, I don't know. Something to be looked at. But if we look over here, the eggplants are all coming along really, really well. It's a regular eggplant. I got a regular eggplant over there. These are the Japanese eggplants, and Sarah noticed yesterday that this one is just filled with set fruit. So, we'll have some Japanese eggplant before too long. So, that's another volunteer tomato that just came up. So, in any case, that's why the tomatoes over here this year. So, we have the 6 tomatoes, and then I've had a couple friends give me tomato plants. So I have this one and this one. Here's the cherry tomato. And then I forgot what this is. Oh, there it is. Look at that. It's a black cherry tomato. How cool is that, right? So we'll see what happens. Back over in this corner, that is my lemongrass. So hopefully I can grow a couple stalks of lemongrass this year. Here is, I've got to deal with this, is my asparagus, and we didn't cut any of it this year. This is only its second year. I'm trying to establish a nice little colony, but hopefully maybe next year. This year we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only have 9 shoots, so this is another volunteer tomato plant, so I just decided to let it go. Why not? It's probably a cherry tomato. These are my grapes. Friend next door used these at school for some sort of experiment that had nothing to do with chemicals or anything. And you know what? Oh, nope. This one's alive. Look at that right there at this end. That one was the one that just didn't want to live very well. And this guy also had a problem. But it looks like he's starting to grow again. Anyway, once these live for a couple 5 years, we'll see what we can do with them. I decided to get some fresh catnip for the kitties. And then of course over here are the cucumbers, the pickling cucumbers. Last year I made 26 quarts, 26 quarts of pickles. So we'll see what we can do this year. I changed up the arrangement for the pickles. Last year, I don't know if you recall, there was sort of an A-frame that I built along there. Cut to short little picture of it right there. This year I decided to try something different. This is going to be a little bit more sturdy and a little bit easier for me to deal with. So we'll just weave them up and down as they start growing. Lastly, we got the 3 zucchini plants. And last night we actually already harvested off 4 or 5. I let them get to be about 2 days bigger than this, so they're about 5-6 days old. And then I harvest them, try to keep them nice and young. But it's nice to see that not only do I have male flowers here, right? See, no fruit, and a female flower. See right here, fruit. So it's nice to know that I don't have strictly male or strictly female plants. This is all the Swiss chard, and this was planted last year, and I'm just going to once again let this all go to seed, and hopefully we'll have a nice another strong patch of it. Over here, let's see, we already talked about those. The rosemary has gotten to be an actual freaking bush. I think there's some actual wood in there I can make like furniture from. And I have to come here about twice a month and rip back this oregano because it is so prolific. So that's ooh, now I smell like oregano. Here's the other cilantro patch. And hopefully what we'll do is we'll just let it go and I'll have a nice little strong patch there. Over on this side we have the good old collard greens. These is be the 5th or 6th year for these greens. I need to get out here and get these seed pods off before they open up. I had some turnips at work, so I just stole the turnips, planted them into the ground, and we're just going to grow them for the greens. So hopefully these will get a little bit bigger and we'll have some turnip greens. Here are the cabbages, and I'm starting to get some nice little heads, but somebody's chewing on my cabbage. But yeah, see, some nice little heads. They're nice and firm. So that's looking good. Next to that is the other row of Swiss chard. Right? So Cathera eats lots of greens. And then right next to that is we have one Russian kale plant and the Italian, the ostinato kale. And these are also very old plants, like this guy's dead now. These are like their 6th year, 5th year, something like that. This was the row of onions. I've already harvested them once this year. Today I'm going to beat up this ground and put in the next round right here. So, oh, look at that. I missed one. How is that possible? Yay, onion. Okay, well, that's one more. Once you harvest them, you have to clean them up, dry them off, let them sit for about 2 weeks in a cool, dry place so they can dry up. There we go, we'll just get that later. So then next to the onion patch are the fennel, and we've probably already harvested 10 bulbs by now, but they're doing really well. I've tried to catch them before they bolt, because you know that stem on the inside just makes it just like eating wood. That's no good. But they've actually done very well as well. This is a volunteer dill, so why not? Then we have our peppers. This would be the the same pepper that you get for a pepperoncini, right? It's just a sweet pepper. This is the good old ghost pepper. So last year we got about 10 or 12 of them. They were so hot I pretty much couldn't eat it. Sarah loved them, but yeah, ridiculously hot. This is the Thai chili one. You can see that. Oh, let's get around this side. We're starting to get lots of fruit down in there. So then these two are the Patrons. They are absolutely fabulous peppers. They're great when you like fry them, especially with like pork chops. And they have 2 Anaheim peppers. 1 and 2. Oh look, I have some Anaheims. And then the last 2 in the back are the poblano. And they're starting to get nice and big. And yeah, I knew I had one. Whoa, sorry folks. I knew I had 1 Anaheim, but there's the other right there. Back here's one of the watermelons. See, it's doing really well, but for whatever reason, that guy over there, he doesn't want to grow so much. We have this watermelon and this watermelon. They're good old-fashioned, full-size seedless watermelons. And then I have the 3 cantaloupe plants, and what's really nice is that we're getting some flowers on them. So hopefully I can grow some cantaloupe. I've only ever grown them last year, and I grew one cantaloupe, and it was not very good. So I think that about covers it. I put down the straw this year to try to help control some of the moisture, because like I said, this soil is it's clay. I mean, it's ridiculously bad. And it's very difficult to keep wet because when you water it, it just runs right off. It doesn't want to have to water, and it takes 85 hours just to try to get a little wet. So what I did is I did a little research and found that I needed some ground cover. And see, I don't know if you can see, that's arty. You can actually almost, yeah, it's helping keep its moisture a little bit better. I mean, it still takes a long time to water because I have to get it through the straw. But, yeah, so there it is. So let's take a count. Cantaloupe, watermelon, peppers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I forgot about the guy in the middle. 7. I forgot what he was. Let's go see. 7 different kinds of carrot flipper is the name of the okay. Then we have fennel, the onions, which are going to get replanted, the line of parsley, the chard, the kale, the Russian kale. I forgot about this guy. This is like a pawpaw. I don't know what it is. It's not a South American pawpaw. It's something different. So it was given to Sarah, and I don't know it. But apparently it makes something like tomatillos. So, okay, so there's that guy. There's the cabbage. There's the collards. There is the cilantro. I don't know if you all are aware of purslane. This is purslane. It's really just a weed. But the leaves here, they are ridiculously nutritious. Very, very high in macronutrients and microminerals and that kind of thing. It's really, really good for you. Problem is, it's a little like okra. It has a little bit of sliminess. But you can put leaves of it in a saute or put them in a salad. You can put them in a few in a smoothie. You know, just a small handful. But it's really good for you. Oh goody, here goes the guy with the chainsaw. So then we have the regular variegated eggplant. We have the Japanese eggplant. And we have the dusky eggplant. We have the, what's this? This one is a cauliflower. That one's a broccoli. I don't know if we're going to get a cauliflower out of that. And then there's that broccoli back over there. We have carrots and carrots. We have 2, 4, 6 kinds of tomato, 7 tomatoes, 8 tomato, 2 kinds of cherry tomatoes. I got asparagus, grapes, catnip, pickling cucumbers. Over here are the shallots and leeks. We have the regular cucumbers, the lemon cucumbers, and 2 kinds of potatoes. Here is the kiwi. That is the horseradish. Let's come back over here. Here is the mushroom garden, and we actually got one mushroom out of it this year. We're hoping to maybe get a few more. We need to put more dust, sawdust in there, something to grow on. This is my speckled lettuce. I lost all of the seed. I didn't have any. I thought this was going to be a total loss, and then for whatever reason, I had these two plants pop up here between the sidewalk cracks. So I'm going to let them seed. I'm going to put a bag over it once it does, and I'm going to save all the seed. This is a really fabulous lettuce. It's an old world lettuce. So we have mint, thyme, chives, sorrel, variegated sorrel, sage, and then the strawberries. Ooh. Not quite. We've already had our first, the first round of them come through. These are the golden raspberries, and they had a very hard time this year. They did not produce anything, but it looks like there's a lot of new growth, so that's good. And then our raspberries, which did really, really well. We have, let's get from this angle. You know the raspberries? So, we actually had a good raspberry year. They're not the best raspberries. Well, a little dry, not juicy. But, yay! And then lastly, we have our artichoke. So there it is. Thanks for watching. Maybe we'll do this again in a month, see how things have come along. Maybe I'll take a video during harvest, but anyway, thanks for watching.